It's a brand new day, and we'll be making history. Are you with me? Won't you stay? We have come so far. This is who we are. And like the rising sun, we have just begun to play our part. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show our colors. We are heroes and dreamers. We are restless believers.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. This is Gail of Gaia, and this is Free Range, where we graze on wild ideas and we have wonderful guests. And we have an ongoing series here with Ambaya Martin, and we are going to be talking, or she's going to be talking about Tai Chi Gung and nature. So let me bring her on. Hi, Ambaya.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Glad to be here.
Yes, we're always happy to have you here because it's so interesting to learn about these different practices that are in tune with nature. Let me put it that way, because nature is really such a healing place. And you were going to connect the concept of the elements and the tastes. Is that correct?
That's correct. We'll focus on that. Yeah, but we're also going to do the Tai Chi Gung practice so that we can actually use our body to be able to imbibe all of nature, because we are nature. We are part of nature. We are made up of nature, plus, of course, the divine light of God that animates us. But in order to be able to absorb and be aware and act from that inner knowledge, divine knowledge, we have to kind of put it into practice. And so this is more like a remembering of who we truly are and how our communion with nature enhances our physical, mental, and emotional body, and even our financial circumstances. Because when we are at ease, we can actually create this positive thinking, or it is actually allowing us to receive it, because life giving is very positive. And so when we are not aligned with nature, it's going to act differently than the nurturing effects. So in nature, everything is connected, right? So we're just kind of pointing out how nature is connected to our movement, to our breath, and to the 5 elements that make up this third dimension physicality, which, as we know from quantum physics, is not really dense or concrete. It's made out of empty space that is basically full of light emanating in this fantastic speed of geometric infinite colors, just scintillating and coming together to give us this incredible possibility of experiencing life, which may just be an illusion. So why not illusion it wonderfully?
That's a good way of putting it. So, okay. Well, I think the nature aspect and getting us to be one with nature is part of getting to the point, or the level of being one with everyone and everything. And that's sometimes hard for people to wrap their head around, but I think as we tie these things together, it makes it more obvious.
Yeah, and like I say, it's a matter of actually remembering. And if you take the word apart, it's to member again, right? Remember. So what are we doing? What are we remembering again? We are bringing the whole together in our memory bank. These words have so many different incredible meanings when we bring them apart because they're multi-dimensional. It'd be
Hmm.
very, very interesting how all of these languages came to be so precise in their um, meaning. So remembering who we are by necessity allows us to group together that which we are made up of, being aware of it and acting from that space awarely rather than just in la la land about it and pushing. And to a certain extent, some of that is okay, but we definitely live in a world in which we affect either positively or negatively our surroundings. So the more
Hmm.
we know that we are, like you say, connected to everything else, and we are actually all of that within our own body, we have the possibility and the great privilege of being able to affect those around us. So the more aware we are as to how we can do this and master those different levels or what we call dimensions of being, the more expanded consciousness in the world we will experience. And hopefully we'll create some very beautiful things rather than some of the negativity that seems to be very prominent right now in many parts of the world. And so we just have to kind of go back to basics and say, okay,
Hmm.
who are we? And how are we going to express that total unity of divine being that is in us, that is in everything else? So, because of that, the Tai Chi Gung movements and the whole teaching of Tai Chi Gung, for those of you that are new to this webcast, I'll just do a little bit of summary. So, Tai Chi Gung is a 3,300-year-old system of breath movement that is based on ancient yoga and breath that a man by the name of Boganathar, with his incredible inquisitive mind of wanting to find out how nature worked in us, because as he observed 3,300 years ago with all of the sadhus that he was around, these great yogis, they were accomplishing great things. However, they were not able to take care of their bodies. And he thought that there was something wrong with that and something was missing. So he went into nature to really observe what may be missing and how nature actually nourished us. And there's again another word, nature is
Hmm.
nourishing, and it's a constant give and take
That's good.
that we have with nature. We are breathing in and we're breathing out. So even our exchange with the trees, we are taking in oxygen and we are expressing the carbon dioxide that they actually need. So even our breath that we may not be aware of is contributing to the whole survival of the earth, which is amazing and grandiose if you think about it. But it's our responsibility to really be able to take care of this, what I consider a holy temple, and know how it operates. So when we're born, we don't get a manual. We get a manual if we buy a Jeep or any kind of car. But born, we don't really get a manual.
Hmm.
And if we can consider that the Tai Chi Gong and the practices of Ayurveda, or the knowledge of Ayurveda, which is the science of life, between those two, we have a very clear manual as to how this body functions so that we can actually live healthy, happy, long lives. so that we can experience that which we came to experience and express through the individual desire of our souls. So after 3,000, about 3,300 years ago, these techniques or this practice of Tai Chi Gung has been handed down from master to disciple from Tibet. And right now, we have a very great opportunity to actually be able to bring it to the West and put it into practice, because this was a great, very simple study, actually, of how to bring back that fluency of movement and of breath that keeps us moving both inside and outside our bodies in the correct manner, so that we can encompass all of the life source and be able to express that
Does
inner
it
fire of the soul
have a balancing effect?
and have a balancing effect.
Yeah.
Yes. And like in our bodies, we are made up of the 5 different elements. So we have the ether, which is the space in which everything is. We have air, which is the movement, it brings forth movement of everything. And then we have the fire, which is the heating or the digestive element of the transformative aspect of everything in nature. And then we have the water, which is the sustain, partly a sustainer and a moistening and a holder of these energies and lubricating, so that there is movement but with limitations. And then we have the earth. So the earth and the water create the clay that creates all of these beautiful structures that we experience and live in. And it's always in balance. If you have too much water, then those structures that we make may not hold up. If we have too much earth, then they may crack and fall, because they might be too dry. So the same thing in our bodies. If we pay attention to the qualities that those elements make up our body and know how to move them and keep them in balance, then we will stay healthy. So one of the most delightful ways of doing that is actually through the foods that we eat. And we all love to eat, right? I certainly do.
Yeah.
Eat yummy things, and we can either be attracted to some of those things that are good for us, or some of those things that may taste really good but may not be so good for us if we keep doing too much of it. So holding the reins of some of those tastes with this inner discipline may actually keep us in balance. But we have to know, okay, so what qualities are we imbibing? So let's say you are feeling too heavy and lethargic. Okay, so we know we have maybe too much water and too much earth. Okay, you kind of feel wobbly if you have too much water, or you may feel really heavy
Maybe.
if you have too much earth and not want to move. And those people that are staying way too heavy with way too much earth element may need a little bit of air, right, to come and kind of bring forth a little bit more movement. So, in which way can we do that? Through our foods. So, some of the foods that are very heavy are contain a lot of earth elements, and some of those foods that are very airy contain a lot of air, and they have different qualities. So, the heavy ones make heaviness basically, and the airy ones make lighter things in our body. So if we eat a lot of, let's say, greens, then that is going to counteract someone that eats a lot of heavy things like pastas and a lot of grains, or a lot of potatoes, a lot of starchy foods, which are heavier. So a balance of the two in moderation, if you're aware of what you're eating, may actually allow you to eat both, because both are delicious, prepared in different ways. But in moderation, and individually fit for yourself, because everyone, Ayurveda is wonderful because it doesn't really have like one diet that fits it all.
Yeah,
No,
there's no such thing anyway. Yeah.
no, it's an individual thing, and not only an
Yeah.
individual thing forever, but an individual thing that keeps changing day to day. Not only are we affected by what we're eating, but we're also affected by the weather. Let's say in a dry climate, some people may need a lot more water than in some other climate that is very watery, rainy, cold. Um, they may need actually a lot more fire in that situation. And so, what are some of the fiery foods? Well, some of your sour foods, some of your hot, spicy foods, they bring in a little bit of fire in order to bring forth more digestibility ability and more transformative ability to counteract some of the heaviness or the dullness that someone may be experiencing in a very heavy, watery environment. So, and by the same token, let's say you have foods that are very light. Um, in nature, like all of the greens. Well, if you eat too many of those, someone that is already thin and already spacey because they have too much air around, then if they keep eating that, they're going to get more ungrounded and more unstable. So they will need a little bit more of the counteracted. So if we can think of the elements as a seesaw and know when to have the lighter ones, when to have the wetter ones, when to have the heavy ones, when to have the drying ones. So, one of the tastes that people may not be very familiar with is called the astringent taste. And the astringent taste is like your beans, your lentils. You know, when you cook them, they pull out a lot of moisture, don't they? So they dry you out. So someone that is already kind of very wrinkly and very dry and very um,
Interesting.
cracking their bones or whatever is a lot of lentils because they may be really good for you, or beans because they may have a lot of protein, right? But they may be getting too much of their water absorbed from their muscles or their bones, and so they end up being too dry. So
That makes
again,
sense.
we have to always ask for who, how much, and when. So not only do we are we affected by the weather, we're also affected by the seasons. The different seasons of the year
Right.
require different things. You
True.
know how you long for warmer drinks in the winter,
Yes.
naturally,
Hmm.
and you definitely don't want a very hot thing on the summer. Although, actually, when you drink something hot, it actually makes you sweat, so it does have the effect of cooling. However, in your desire, you may want to go get something cold or go jump in a cold pool, which you wouldn't want to do in the middle of the winter. Although it is good for you once in a while. Definitely
A
takes.
polar bear club. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I remember one time I was actually in India and I was at an ashram right by the Ganges, and the practice at that ashram at 4 o'clock in the morning and at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you were supposed to go to the river and wash. So you went to wash in the mornings and in the evenings as a practice. And I remember I was there in late December, early January, and it was so cold. And it's right there in the, northern part of India, very, very cold. And my mind was going, I don't want to get in that water. It's just way too cold. And I was just my mind was having this big fight with me as I was going down the stairs to the Ganges. And the voice was so loud. It's like, how can I'm just going to splash my face, or I'll just splash my arm. I was so concerned with that I didn't notice where I was walking, and I literally fell in the river, fully clothed.
Oh my gosh.
Talk about a wake up call. It's like, Okay, be present. Don't fight with the, with the spiritual energy because it's gonna get you very fast. And
That's
it was so
funny.
hilarious because I had to walk up these many stairs to go to the room and change, and the boots were soaking wet. Everything was just so cold. But I was laughing so hard by that time, I didn't even matter. And you have that spiritual energy that comes in. Those some of those lessons come very, very clearly. Um,
Stay in the now, yeah.
Stay in the now, right? So just to generalize, the sweet taste is made up of water and earth. So whenever you want to be calmer, grounded, you're going to eat things that are sweeter in nature, but not like sweet, like sugar, high sugar all the time, but sweet vegetables and sweet fruits. The salty taste is made out of fire and water. So you know how when you taste something, your tongue just kind of gets a little bit wet, and you get a little bit of salt, and you have a little bit of fire and water, and the salty foods actually bring forth a little bit of the water, the nourishing taste. Okay, it's a nourishing taste, and also the salt has a lot of minerals by itself. Oh my gosh, I keep forgetting that. Sorry. I keep forgetting to turn that phone off. Um, anyway, the sour taste has a stimulating taste, and it has the fire and the water, and the pungent taste, or the hot spicy, has air and fire. So it's very much like the forest, the wind in the forest fire. You put a little bit of wind, and the fire that may already be there is going to grow by leaps and bounds. So the fire element is a very um, important one to actually keep in mind as we are choosing our foods, because a lot of us love that hot spicy feeling because it makes us be a little bit more passionate, and it's like it makes us feel alive, and it makes us think that we're going to go and conquer the world. But if someone is already too heated up, if they have, let's say, a lot of skin conditions, or a lot of excess heat, or a lot of high blood pressure or something, then they may not benefit from hot spicy foods. So they would need the bitter taste to cool them, the greens that have the air uh, element in order to bring all that heat down. So,
Interesting.
anyway, that's basically a general thing. So, if I don't know how much time we have left because I've definitely talked a lot, but we can move into our Tai Chi Gung.
Okay. Well, when we do that, what I'm going we have plenty of time. We're at like 23 minutes, and I'm going to move off the screen, and I'm going
Okay.
to take everything off the screen so that they can only see you. And I'm even going to remove the, let's see, graphics, just to make it easy to see your movements and so on. And I think I can go off the screen like that.
Okay.
And
And
there we go.
as you're doing that, before I forget, I just want to let everybody know. If you go, there is a wonderful, wonderful teacher that I went to Ayurvedic school with, and his name is Dr. Vasant Lad, Lad, and he has some of the most simple but well expressed books on Ayurveda, and all of this information that I've been giving you little bits of here and there is there if you want to get those books. And the Ayurvedic Institute in Albuquerque will have them, or I'm sure you can get them on Amazon. But better to support those good little places. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Sounds wonderful.
I'm going to,
Yeah, I'm going to have to tip it a little more.
yes, I think I'm just going to go to, okay, let me see if you can see my feet. Okay. There.
Yeah, as long as you're back there.
All right, very good. So we begin by bowing just to honor each other's presence and the chi. The chi is that energy that sustains us. It is that energy that is all around us. It is the Holy Spirit that is always guiding and keeping us alive. It is the giver of life. And it is that chi that we will learn ex- to experience more and more awareness and to be able to gather it in order to be able to affect more and more change. So, in a healthy person, this energy surrounds us about 7 feet all the way around from our solar plexus in all directions. And as we get healthier and healthier, that um, luminosity will expand. As we diminish in health, that light diminishes as our chakras, which are the governing centers of our endocrine system, are in constant, um, they're in constant interchange with this chi energy to be able to allow our bodies to receive that energy that keeps us experiencing this wonderful, wonderful life. Okay, so we're going to start by circling our top hand on top of the left hand and moving it towards the right side. And as we are doing this, we are working on our heart chakra because the palms of our hands have the heart meridians. And the heart, as you well know, affects all circulation in the body as well as our emotional heart. And I think we can all benefit from that at this point. We can turn the hands on our side, on their sides, and speed up that circular motion a little bit. And as we're doing these exercises, we're going to breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the mouth. And I remind you of that as we go through the exercises, just so we don't get stuck with no breath, because we definitely tend to do that. All right, we can slow it down a little bit. And as we come to a stop, we can clasp our hands together and squeeze as though you have a dumpling in your hand. Exhale as you are squeezing. Inhale as you're turning the hands. And this again is working on our heart, but this is working on releasing stress from our emotional heart. Okay, we can slow it down and come to a pause. And this time we're going to bend our hands side to side. And And what we're working on here is our lung meridians. So the lungs are pushing that oxygen into the heart and the rest of the body. And just do it as far as you can, but don't push it too much. Just don't stress. Just do what you can easily. And now we're going to take the hands in that position and we're going to do like a infinity symbol with our hands, the figure 8 with our hands. We're going to coil them in and extend them out a little bit, not all the way. And remember, we're breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the mouth. And this next time, we're going to stretch it all the way to the front and coil it all the way back in. And all the way back out again. And inhaling, bring it in towards your chest and out again. Inhale in, exhale down, inhale up, exhale front, inhale in, down, and we're going to go all the way to the back and bring it forth. And now we're going to reverse it and just stretch and open up that solar plexus. And that solar plexus is where we receive all of this life force and express it. Okay, now we're going to bow our heads a little bit front and relax the neck and the shoulders. And bring it back a little bit. Exhale down. And bring into neutral. We're going to go to the right and to the left. And this next time, we're going to stay there for a few counts. And this is opening up our throat center, our power center, our throat chakra. Okay, so now we're going to work on the bottom half of our bodies. We're going to lift the heel of the right leg, and on an exhale, shift to the other side. Inhale as the leg is up, and exhale as we move to the other side. And as we are doing this, when we put pressure on the heel, we are working on the earth element. And you can notice how grounded you feel if you actually put a little bit of pressure and concentrate on that heel. We'll move to the other side on an exhale. And as we're lifting that foot with the movement, we're working on the instep, which is the water element. So you will experience some fluidity. And as we shift, you'll notice the ball of the foot being very present if you put some pressure on it and allow the experience of the fire element. And if we focus on the toes, as we really bring the heel up a little bit to where we can put a sensation on the toes, we will feel a little bit of the air element. So notice if it feels a little unstable or a little bit more airy, especially in contrast to the heel. And remember, inhale while the heel is up, and exhale on the switch. And we'll do this a couple more times and see if you can just consciously put pressure and feel the difference between the heel, the instep, the ball of the foot, and the toes. And we can come to a stop. And now we're going to work on, we're going to tuck our tailbone in a little bit, bend the knees a little bit, and we're going to inhale as we are tucking, and we're going to exhale as we release. And if we put our hands on the back of the small of our backs, We can feel the movement of the hip moving forward on the in-breath, releasing on the exhale. And this works on our basic structure, our stability, our posture, the way we carry our body, strengthening the hips, strengthening the upper thighs, giving us the ability to stay standing without any tension, kind of like if you were sitting on your own legs. You feel very, very strong. And you can let go of your arms and just let them hang and feel the relaxation as you tuck the tailbone and release on the exhale. And in the next exhale, we're going to come to a stop and shake our feet a little bit. And next we're going to do our figure 8 with our feet. And I think I'm going to close the shade in the back so you can see my feet a little bit better. Does that help a little? Okay. We're going to bring the right foot about 2 inches in front of the left foot. The left foot is going to be angled out, about shoulder width apart. We're going to bend the knees a little bit and tuck the tailbone. We're going to twist our hip towards the back foot, and we're going to put pressure on the heel to the toe and then turn to the other side. And we're going to do the same thing, heel to toe, turn to the toe of the other side. Heel to toe and turn to the toe of the other side. So we're doing like a figure 8 on the floor. And as we put pressure on the heel, you will feel very stable shifting with your figure 8. Side to side. And as you grow comfortable with this, you can make it go a little bit faster if it feels good to you. It doesn't need to be fast, but whatever feels normal to you is okay. Just heel to toe, heel to toe. This is working on every single tendon, bone, muscle of your feet and your legs, as well as balancing the right and the left side of your body and the left and the right hemisphere. And notice if your body has a tendency to move forward or go backwards. So if you have a lot of the earth element, you may have a tendency to go backwards. If you have a lot of ether and air in your body, you may have the tendency to move forward. So in order to counteract that, you just put pressure on the opposite side, on the opposite element, so that you can bring those elements into balance. And the more you do this, if you do this every day, you will notice how natural it comes to you day by day. Okay, we're going to slow it down a little bit. See if we can let the energy go out through the hands. And we'll come to a stop. Let the energy go out through the bottom of the feet. Come to a stop and we'll change. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So your left foot is in front. Your right foot is about 2 inches behind the left foot. Angle down. Tuck the tailbone. Bend the knees. Move your body towards the back foot. Put pressure on the heel to the toe of the other side. Heel to toe, heel to toe. Move the foot from the toe towards the other foot. Heel to toe, heel to toe. And remember our breath. The more you do this, the more that breath just goes in naturally. In through the nose, out through the mouth. This exercise is very important just because it really works on just about every aspect of our body and mind. By balancing the left and the right hemisphere, by getting us strength. And by working on all of the elements through the feet. Okay, we're going to slow it down a little bit. Let go of any tension in the hands. And as we come to a stop, let any of that tension go through the bottom of the feet. And this time we're going to do the same thing, only this time the feet are a little more parallel and the motion is going to be side to side rather than back to front or diagonal. So we're going to go heel to toe, 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 just from side to side. Okay, we're going to come to a stop. And we're going to move the feet a little bit. And we'll go to our next exercise. And the next one is going to be the standing twist exercise. We're going to bring the right leg about half a foot distance from the left foot, angled out. We're going to put about 60% of the weight on the right leg, tuck the tailbone, and bend the knees slightly. And again, we're going to twist towards the back foot, just the trunk of the body. This exercise is propelled by the pressure we put on the legs. But the legs and the feet don't really move, they just put the pressure that propel this twist. So you'll feel like you're like a tree blowing in the wind. And one of the things that Boganathar questioned a lot was, why are these trees living to be thousands of years old and us humans dying in a very few years? So maybe we need to learn to move like the trees. He also observed the movement of the water in our body. So the water comes from the back of the body towards the front, giving basically the acupunctures, the conception vessel is what they call in acupuncture, the movement of the water element in the body, coming from the back, up the spine, through the forehead, down to the front. And this movement is enhancing and supporting all of the circulatory system in the body. It's supporting the heart and all of the distribution channels. And it's also going to allow us to release some tension. So as we slow down, see if we can release whatever tension we may feel on the top of the head, the forehead, the eyes, your nasal cavity, oral cavity, your tongue, your throat, the neck, the upper shoulders, the upper chest, and the upper back, your arms, your hands, your abdomen and the lower back, your hips, your thighs, your knees, your calves, your shins, and as we come to a stop, your feet, allowing the energy from the bottom of your feet to go towards the earth and releasing it. We change feet, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Tucking the tailbone, bending the knees a little bit, putting 60% of the pressure on the front foot, half a foot distance from the front. The second or the foot on the back is angled out. Again, we're going to twist our body a little bit towards the back foot and begin the twist. And don't forget the breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. And you may adjust your legs to where you're not feeling any pain or pressure on your knees. Just make sure that the distance is working for you. You can adjust it either closer in or a little farther out, whatever works for you. And remember that this movement is propelled by the pressure on the legs. And it's very subtle. And again, even in this exercise, you can feel yourself either grounded by the whole foot feeling good and flat with even pressure on the heel as the earth, the instep as the water, the fire at the ball of the foot, and the toes as the air element. And we can come to slow down. As we're slowing down, we can again let go of whatever tension we may have gathered from the top of our head, our face, our neck, our shoulders, our arms, our chest, our abdomen, our hips and lower back, our thighs, calves, shins. And as we come to a stop, our feet, letting all of that energy back into the earth. Okay, you can shake your legs a little bit, and if you have some water, you can take a little sip. I think I'm going to.
Yes, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, we only have 2 more exercises. So the next exercise we're going to do is our feet are parallel, and we're going to, on an in-breath, we're going to raise our arms up like a crane and down 3 times. In-breath up, exhale down. We're going to lower our head a little bit and relax our upper shoulders and neck. Pause. Take a breath. Exhale. Hands together. Inhale up. Exhale down. And another 3 cranes. This time we're going to bend the upper part of the body. Again, we're going to pause. Take a breath. Exhale. Bringing the head up again. Hands up. Exhale down. Inhale up. And this time we're going to lower about halfway down. Take a pause. Take a breath. Exhale while the body is moving up little by little. Those vertebrae moving one by one, the head being the last. Pulling the hands up on an in-breath down on an exhale, up on the crane again, 3 more times. And this time we're going to lower the body as far down as you want and feel comfortable. This exercise is wonderful because it floods our brain with all kinds of nutrients, the blood. It brings all of the benefits of the standing pose in yoga with no pressure on the neck. And we can take a pause, take a big breath, exhale on the way down, coming up, hands together, inhale up, exhale down, and 3 more cranes. And again, we're going to go down as far as it feels comfortable for you, and just enjoy. Exhale up, inhale, exhale, and we're going to do this one more time. Again, going down as far as you feel comfortable. Take a big breath. Exhale on the way up. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands down. And we're going to finish with 3 more cranes. We're going to bring our hands to our hips and roll our feet and take a step back. Release a little bit of that energy. And we're going to go right into our last exercise for today. And it's called the Tai Chi. We're going to again twist the body just slightly. We're going to bring the right hand, pretend we're cupping water and bringing it to the left hand. And we're going to do circles. The hands are going to be constantly moving like a windmill. And this is clearing all our chakras. And remember that the chakras correspond to all of the endocrine system in the body. They are our wheels of energy that allow this chi or this energy to come into our body so that we may process physical, mental, emotional experiences and be able to creatively express that inner desire of our hearts that we each individually carry as we are born with individual desires of the soul. So to the degree that we are healthy, connected, strong, and happy, to that degree, we'll be able to enjoy this beautiful gift of life as we honor this holy temple that is the body, the mind, surrounded by the spirit that is constantly with us and letting us know that we are never alone. And our circles are going to be getting a little bit smaller. And as they get smaller, our hands kind of tend to be on a 90-degree angle as they kind of find their point to where they meet each other, palm to palm. And then we can move the energy that we have gathered side to side in between those hands. And as we come to a stop, we can move them out, in and out, like an accordion. Inhaling on the way out, exhaling on the way in. And see if you can experience anything in between your hands. And we're going to bring them about 1 to 3 inches apart. And we're going to circle them like we did at the beginning, only without touching. And see if you can focus on whatever experience you are having in between these two hands. And we're going to bring that energy into our abdomen. And then release it back into the earth. And this completes our exercises for the day. And if any of you have any questions, maybe Gail, you can facilitate that. I don't have any idea what time it is. I lost complete track.
Yeah, that's okay. We're okay. We're just we gotta finish what we start, so we're fine.
Okay.
I don't know. Did you want to do some? Were you gonna add anything else, or?
No, I just want to know if anybody has any questions. We can, if we have time, can we entertain a couple?
Yes. Unfortunately, I don't see anybody asking any questions. I can check the other sites and see if someone asked any questions there.
Were you able to?
Yeah, I'm not seeing it right now. But
Were you able to hear me clearly?
yes.
Okay.
Yes, you were. Yeah, it was very good. I thought it went really well.
Okay.
And I think it's a great thing if people want to follow to get the benefit of doing it along with you. I was doing it. I stayed off the scene in order to be able to give the whole, so everybody could see you better. But
Okay. Well,
I think might get more questions if right now my YouTube channel anyway isn't really known and people don't go to. We did get a couple of comments from Twitch, but when they said something about taking your pants off, that was about I deleted
Who
them.
said something
So
about
yeah, somebody just said something ugly, so I just. But other than that, it was good. They said at first they said it was very relaxing, and
okay.
it is very relaxing, and it's a good thing. So.
So if you can tell them the Tai Chi Gung teacher, if you direct them to the Ambaya TaiChiGung.com
Oh,
and
okay. Let me
Facebook,
see if I have that in my captions. I think I do. Uh,
you have to direct them to go there. And then once they're on the site, they can click on the circle of life.
is this the one you're talking about?
Yes.
Ambaya
Yes.
Tai Chi Gung?
Yes.
Okay.
And
Mhm.
then once they're there, they just tap the circle of life tap, and it will take them into the community that where they can access the teacher that can so they can do this online.
Okay. And there are other, I do have it in that same link is in the description of this video as
Okay,
well. So
all right,
it's
very good.
available for them too.
All righty.
So thank you so much. Let me
Awesome.
put up our, let me see if I can find it here, the QR code thing. And this is the,
Oh, yeah, product.
mentioned something about the essential. I think it's a wonderful
Okay.
combination
Yeah,
that,
this is our Ambaya Gold product line, and the three main products. They provide three main functions for the body. One of them is the electrical hydration, because the body
right.
needs the minerals which hold the electrical potential in the body to be able to have the cells communicate with each other. And we remove the obstacles to that communication with our Detox Cleanse Renew product, which removes the heavy metals and any toxicity that acts to block that or to deflect that communication. And then we nourish with the essence of life, which has all of the vitamins and minerals that are required for our body to work correctly, along with some digestive enzymes and the amino acids that are inherently in the fulvic acid. So it's very, very nourishing. We've been doing this for about 15 years with great results. They are easily absorbed by the body and easy and practical to take, because you combine them with your smoothies or your juices or your water, and they're
And
just
you
easy.
don't have to take a handful of pills.
Exactly, right. And some people may need a little extra of everything. I suggest that
Oh
people
yeah,
actually add the K2 and vitamin D3, because I can't put the K2 in there because some people may have some um, effects from it, and I can't put as much D3 as everybody may need. So, individual, there it's a very good general formula to
yes.
stabilize and to keep people very healthy, but some people may need to add a few more things. So, it's okay to have a few capsules.
Oh
And
yeah, yeah. I didn't mean it that way at all. Um, and this would work synergistically with any other product as well because it's kind of like foundational. That's how I
right.
see it. So, well,
Okay.
thank you so much, Empire. That's
Yeah.
wonderful, and thank you for that Tai Chi Gung. That was very good and relaxing, I might say.
Yeah.
And
So go to the other side and see, maybe you can do it every day and tell me what you experience. Okay.
exactly. Please feel free to write to us. The email's in the description, and so are, or so is the link that she was referring to as well. So thank you so much, everyone.
All right. Thank
See you
you.
again.
Have a good
Bye bye.
evening. Bye bye.
We have found our way. It's a brand new day, and we'll be making history. Are you with me? Won't you stay? We have come so far. This is who we are. And like the rising sun, we have just begun to play. your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show our colors. We are heroes and dreamers. We are restless believers, stronger than ever. Never say never. Don't look back now, don't look back now. Rise up, stand with each other. We are sisters and brothers, finding our place and running the race. We'll take our chance and seize the moment. Hold on tight and don't let go of all your hopes and dreams that light the way. We control our fate. Destiny awaits. We are all the actors in the stories we create. Hope will be our guide. We'll no longer hide. When we roll like thunder, feel the wonder from inside. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show our colors.